Are you ready?
Hello and welcome to the first episode of 2015 of Across the Laighin. We have exclusive content from all areas of Leinster Rugby this month. We talk to last year's Senior Schools Cup captains about the final, the competition and their new life in the Leinster Sub-Academy. After a long recovery road, we catch up with Leinster prop Cian Healy, who is fighting fit again, and we'll follow Leo, the Leinster legend, on a typical match day and find out what makes him roar. All this along with our usual mix of highlights, league tables and previews here on Across the Laighin. First up on Across the Laighin, we speak to last year's Senior Schools Cup captains Fergal, Cleary and Timoney about their lives in the Sub-Academy, this year's schools competition and what makes it so special.
The first Senior Cup team of the players that would have actually known was probably 2006. They had the likes of Luke Fitzgerald, Lazar Timiev, Noah Morrison, so for all professional rugby players now, and I looked at them, all I wanted to do was just copy what they're doing, like going to Lansdowne Road at the time where the final was, like 20,000 people. I just thought it was unbelievable.
Leading out the team it's the biggest honour I've had, I guess. You get like loads of support messages from old Clongonians, old past peoples that you would never have met, and they all just getting behind you, supporting you. And also guys like from the year that were above you, everyone gets behind you. It's just a really special feeling.
Clongos were unbelievable that day. Like, we threw everything we had at them, and every time they just came back, and it did feel really like it was slipping. I just remember getting the ball, trying to get to the back of the maul and just holding on. Like, the rest of the pack were doing a great job, we were going forward, and I didn't really know it at the time. I wasn't thinking like this is the try that's going to win the Senior Cup or anything.
There'll always be a bit of disappointment thinking back till the day that I stopped playing rugby, I guess, that we lost. But there's also huge pride.
All the schools, all the people involved just decide that it means something to them. And because of that, the participation is just unbelievable. Like, the crowds that go to it, the history, it's been going plus 100 years at this stage. Like, the traditions amongst all the schools, they take it so seriously.
So the Sub-Academy started for me in the summer as the 20 squad started. A typical day for us lads, we start at 7 o'clock in the morning down in Donnybrook, the gym. And we're in the gym till about 8:30, and then we have a pitch session. It usually lasts an hour to an hour and a half maybe, and then we head on to college.
There's a big step up in physicality, there's a step up in pace, there's a step up in skill level, but at the same time I think the intensity from Schools Cup rugby, like the crowd, the pressure, all that prepares you mentally anyway for what's ahead. Like, the coaching is probably second to none in the country. Like, in the gym you've got Big Dave Fagan, Phil Greenwood. For the rugby coaches you've got Wayne Mitchell, Hugh Hogan, John Fogarty, Gervin Dempsey.
It's definitely a process I'd like to follow, going from Sub-Academy, transition into the Academy. Guys like Cian Kelleher, Tom Daly, they all came through Sub-Academy and into the Academy.
Blackrock this year, our team, like, they're a team of really dogged, really hard-working players. They've got some really talented guys in there as well. I think they're definitely in with a really good chance. Michael's their favourites this year, Clongos are good this year again. But then there's still the likes of Newbridge, Ross Craig from the league, Gonzaga, Wesley were good this year. Like, it's all to play for, really.
Next up, Cian Healy took time out of his busy schedule to talk to us about his recovery, his hopes for the months ahead and the rise of a fellow Clontarf man through the UFC.
Happens, you know, I've had this 3 injuries now that have put me out, so hopefully that'll be them done with. It's just running in a straight line. I don't know, I was strong enough hamstrings, so I think it was, as part of it, the muscle didn't tear and looked for the next weakest point. That's the toughest bit, when you're stuck in doing fitness or weights or rehab on your own, and same thing every day for 2 months or so. But for the last while now, I've been kind of integrating back into weights with the team, fitness with more lads, and just kind of being a lot more in the environment, and it's a big pickup and kind of brings that light a bit closer to the end of the tunnel.
The time off served to free Cian up, who took the opportunity to brush up on some study.
One of the biggest things I did was up my study of rugby. I never watched a lot of rugby, and I started watching a lot more and trying to get a bit more of an understanding, general play stuff, how players moved and different kind of aspects of people's games. I didn't hone in on particular players or anything like that. It was just general, more knowledge on rugby and about that. Because when I'm playing, I'm more of a player who goes to the game, plays the game, then separates till training the next Monday or whatever, and take it session by session and week by week.
With only 5 points separating the leaders of the Pro 12 table, the Dragons game is a good return point for the prop.
I'd like to be playing on that weekend, yeah. We've been toying with the idea of playing that weekend and getting the first run out in the RDS and stuff, so it'd be nice to have a run out there as my first one back. I think by all accounts now we're going pretty well, and you know, it's a strong place to be in, and our phase plays and moves and set pieces and everything are starting to really shape up.
Former Clontarf man and now UFC star Cathal Pendred is a good friend, and he's one to watch in 2015.
That's been another positive of being injured. I suppose I could stay up till 5 a.m. to watch the fights, but yeah, it's going great, and it's super to see him. You know, we've a big base of mates in that group, and everyone's in full support of him going forward. Yeah, he was a dangerous enough six. He was a pretty good line-out jumper for us, and just as he is now, just a bit of a hard fella. Toughen up around the pitch he was.
Next up, it's Access All Areas with Leinster's famous Leo de Laighin as he prepares to lead the RDS Matchday Chorus. more great Leinster TV content, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also be sure to follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook. It was with great sadness that the passing of Anne McInerney was announced in early January. Anne served as schools administrator in Leinster for 15 years up until her retirement, and she will be sadly missed by all at Leinster Rugby. Jack Conan received his first call-up to the Ireland senior squad in preparations for the Six Nations. Richard Strauss made his 100th appearance in Leinster colours. while 13 Leinster players were named in the Irish Women's Six Nations squad. There's lots of action in the Guinness Pro 12 and Champions Cup to catch up with. To the Guinness Pro 12 first, and a 78-minute try from Zane Kirshner wrapped up Leinster's early Christmas present with a 21-11 win over Connacht. The second derby of the Christmas period came on St Stephen's Day when Munster ran in 3 tries in Thomond Park to take the victory. Leinster were back to winning ways with tries from Ian Madigan and man of the match Jack Conan steering them to victory against Ulster in their third derby in 15 days. It was back-to-back victories with a successful trip to Cardiff as Leinster bagged their second away win in this year's Pro 12 with this bonus point victory. The return of the European Champions Cup saw Leinster welcome Castres to the RDS. Leinster exploded out of the traps with an impressive 4 tries on the board by half-time, which saw them cruise to a 50-8 win. The stage was set for a massive showdown against Wasps with a place in the top 8 and a home quarter-final up for grabs. A nail-biting tug-of-war for the win unfolded, and despite the first half dominance by the Leinster squad, Wasps battled back to finish with a 20 points apiece draw. With Leinster topping Pool 2 and progressing, all eyes then turned to the rest of the European matches. Montpellier beating Toulouse and Bath overcoming Glasgow resulted in the securing of a home quarter-final. Things are heating up at the top of the Pro 12 table with just 5 points the difference between 1st and 5th place. Leinster are in 4th, just 3 points off leaders Ospreys and 1 behind Munster. Leinster topped Pool 2 with the win over Castres and that draw against Wasps and progressed to that home quarter-final with 20 points. Leinster will be looking to climb into the top 3 in the Pro 12 as they eye up 2 home games in February. The first kicks off at 3 p.m. on the 15th as they welcome Dragons, and then Zebre will travel to the RDS for a Friday Night Lights encounter kicking off at 7:35 on the 20th. Don't forget, all tickets are available on leinsterrugby.ie. That's about all we have time for this month, folks. For more in-depth features, news and tickets, be sure to check out leinsterrugby.ie. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. We'll see you all again next month.
Good.